welcome to another episode of Hard Factor presented by the Barstool News Network. It is What the Fuck Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020. And oh my goodness, I can finally see the beeve in HD clear definition.
Hey, baby.
What is going on with your internet nodes? We've been waiting for the Spectrum guys stomping around the Beaver Dam like 5 days in a row. What's happening?
Third visit from Spectrum. You know what? It's like they were treating me like a delinquent teenager. Like everything I told them, they were like, yeah, sure, we believe you.
Couldn't be
Guess
the
what?
look, could it?
Could be the look. Could be the look.
The Beav is wearing option number 2 from the outfits, which was my favorite. I think Willow was your favorite
it was
too.
the host's favorite.
Yeah. And we did spoiler alert, we pre-recorded a debate, which will be on the Thursday radio show at 11 a.m. Sirius. It's the last quarterfinal of the Barstool talent side. So it's PFT versus Large in a debate. And when Large jumped on the Zoom, he said, "Oh my God, the beef is captivating right now." And he was wearing this outfit.
YouTube.com/Hard Factor News. You got to subscribe to get down on this beef action. And Pat is combing his chest right now.
The beef is.
The beef is. So we got nodes. We got nodes back at the Beaver Dam.
Oh, yeah, they're fixing the nodes. So the nodes, we're back at like regular speeds-ish, but they're going to come by and they were like, oh, yeah, someone just called in the same problem. So now we're going to fix it. I was like, you motherfuckers.
They were just screwing your whole neighborhood. Huh.
The guy that was here today was a little bit weirded out by me. Don't know why, but we got through it. We got through it together.
Well, look.
I asked him, I said, what's the weirdest thing you ever seen at a house? And
If I saw you, if I walked in on you, I would be a little worried you might like brandish a weapon. And
Well, I had my copy of Over 40 magazine right there on the table.
Oh, shit.
Next to my handgun.
Also, the Hard Factor setup has got some interesting political pictures behind you,
Right.
and then your outfit. Yeah, I mean, if I was him,
like
I'd want to
you're-
fix it as quickly as possible, right? Like,
It's like
You look
cable man consumer confidentiality, though. He didn't ask any questions.
You look
Yeah.
like you're trying to like start a political revolution from like inside your studio there. No idea what the target audience is though.
a political sexual revolution.
I think we're all figuring that out together, you know?
All right, well, I'm glad that you got the nodes back at the dam, Beef. It's good to know. All right, today's stories, we got a ton. Obviously, What the Fuck Wednesday, all listeners submitted.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to go down some rabbit holes today. Also, don't forget, sign up for Sirius XM trial and listen to us again. We brought the other What the Fuck Wednesday stories we couldn't get to on the pod over there, 11 to noon, Monday through
Bring 'em
Thursday.
over.
Yep, Power 85, Sirius XM. Get your free trial so you can listen to that too. All right, so What the Fuck Wednesday starts off with the most what the fuck story of all in the politics side this week, submitted by Jack the Scruffin and Jingleheimer 86. We've got chaos in the political world. First off, presidential candidate in only a few states, Kanye West. Not only did he have his first campaign rally in South Carolina this week, where we touched on it a little bit earlier this week, where he talked about, he was glad he did not abort his baby daughter, and then also criticized Harriet Tubman's, efforts during her lifetime. Then after that, he just had a public meltdown on Twitter, basically. I think that this was the next day. Kanye said, Kim trying to bring a doctor to lock me up with a doctor. As in his wife is concerned that he's having mental difficulties.
So much
and then
so
he
that
went
he-
on to
Right.
say,
2 doctors.
yeah, I think he's referring to the same one, but he felt like he needed to reiterate doctor. So, yeah.
He's Johnny 2 times.
And then he went on to say, and this might clarify why he needs a doctor, NBC locked up Bill Cosby. That was part of the same Twitter rant. Yeah.
I don't know what
So-
that means, but you hate to see this from Yeezus. You hate to see it. He's such a passionate guy. I watched the whole press conference, if you could call it that, last evening.
Oh yeah? What did he do?
Just a lot of crazy stuff, man. The Harriet Tubman thing, real weird.
That one in South Carolina. Yeah.
Yeah,
that one.
Then he was brought to tears. But look, Yeezus was just trying to make a point, right? That he's just, he's glad his baby daughter North is alive. Now, whether he ran that by his wife, I don't know.
Probably should have. I'm assuming he didn't when she wanted to lock him up with a doctor. So
it's tough. It's tough stuff because whether you like, Kanye's politics or social stuff or not, because you obviously like his music. You're a human being. You have yours. You like his music. But whether you like his stuff outside of the music or not, it's sad when anyone has like a public health thing like this. It's not like funny. It's just sad.
Yeah.
No, for sure. You got to be concerned for his mental well-being. Beav, you're going to say something?
Well, I was going to say my mom is definitely going to vote for him because he was praising the Lord in a way that I've never seen a candidate praise the Lord before. And like he lost them with Harriet Tubman, but then he brought them back with, God is good and it's all about the Almighty. And I was just thinking, like, I really hope my mom doesn't see this speech because
Kanye,
yeah.
Go ahead. Kanye's probably the number. I think he would take over Trump in terms of most religious. Like he's very religious. He does like those Sunday sermons, right, where he does free concerts. They're like gospel things at churches every Sunday. Like he's extremely religious.
Very, very religious. And also, Pat, your mom would have to remember to write him in most states because he did not make the ballot. Make sure you read the blogs from Gay Pat and Jack Mack. They got the full scoop on Kanye's week. They covered it in depth, including that Dave Chappelle flew out to Kanye's ranch in Cody, Wyoming on Tuesday to check out Yeezy and make sure that he's okay because I'm assuming Dave, like many of the rest of us, are concerned he's having a manic episode. And also funny timing because Yeezy's new album drops this Friday.
Right. There you go. Okay.
That's what Be Real was saying on the Dr. Green Thumb podcast, which, by the way, is excellent if you guys haven't checked it out. But that's what he's saying. It's super smart if you're going to drop an album to run for president right beforehand. I'm surprised we did. Well, we'll probably see an album from Joe Biden. I don't doubt that's going to happen.
You're going to want to check out every Barstool podcast before that podcast, though. Every single one.
Yes, every single one.
So if you have time after listening to every single different type of Barstool podcast, then check that one out.
Check out Be Reals. Yeah. Albums, presidential albums, Pat. That's a good point. I would like to hear one from all the candidates, really. So,
what do you think Trump's would be? It would be like 90s, early 90s hip hop, I think.
He doesn't listen to music.
No, he would get DCMA'd on everything because he would he just gets his shit taken down because he always steals somebody's 90s rock song that he likes, and then that rock artist says you can't use it anymore. So that's what seems to be going on with his music selections. Next up in the crazy political shit, investigative reports in Florida uncovered that a motorcycle death was being counted as a COVID death, feeding the flames of conspiracy theories everywhere. Yeah. And finally, Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany. Did she get called a lying bitch on camera? 1 second.
You about to play it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me I got to restore this file that I accidentally deleted.
Right, Trump doesn't listen to music, right? Or is that he doesn't drink? Because he doesn't.
No, he also yes. Someone did an interview that said he's never listened to music for pleasure or something.
Right.
What? How did
he doesn't like listening to music?
Though?
I don't know. That's weird.
Who hates
I just remember
music?
hearing that.
You think he's like,
I don't
get
think
that
he said he
music
hated
trash out of here?
He's just so busy, he just doesn't listen to it.
He's never found enjoyment in music.
Yeah. Now, was the press secretary called a lying bitch? You decide. Playing it now.
Thank you, Kayleigh, for paying your money. 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 Thank you, Kayleigh, for paying your.
Okay, we got it. Yeah, it sounds like it, right?
Yeah, it's either way. So, Kayleigh, or I don't know who claimed it, but everybody when they heard it.
So what happened? I can't tell, but what happened?
So a journalist with the mask on, right, said that, and then she defended herself, right? Well, she said it was
what? So the journalist is Kimberly Howkett, and everybody's asking, hey, Kimberly, did you say, okay, you're a lying bitch at Press Secretary Kayleigh McEnany? And then she tweeted, thanks for all the misreporting out there, but I did not say that. I said, okay, you don't want to engage.
And you want to play it again?
Yeah, sure.
Queued up. So now that you heard the alternate.
Thank you, Kayleigh, for paying your money. 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 Thank you, Kayleigh.
That's a lying bitch.
Whichever Whichever one you want to hear, I think. Yeah, I mean, it's tough. I think it's like whichever one you put in your brain and you want to hear, you hear.
It's like that drawing of the old woman and the princess, depending on how you look at it.
Is it?
Yeah.
I mean, that's what everybody's saying. I only hear one. But
who cares? Who cares?
I don't hear the engage.
I hear engage, but I hear more of the other. I hear bitch too when I want to hear it, but I hear more of like the full bitch sentence than the you don't want to engage.
Yeah. But I feel like if I try to hear the other one, maybe I could. But when I just heard it offhand, I was like, oh, I don't hear the other one. But
it's not like that Laurel, was it?
It is Laurel Yanni. Yeah.
But that one you can't, even if you want to hear the other one, you can't. Like it fucks with your head. You can only hear the one. This one I can hear both.
I mean, are we pretending that people aren't thinking you're a lying bitch? That's just part of being the press secretary. Like, let's move on.
Well, I was saying, like, people probably say that shit all the time in that
all
room.
the time.
They just don't get it caught on mic.
When the big dicks, all the egos get in the room, it's just a press frenzy, a feeding frenzy of press questions, and you get hurt.
But you get your press passes removed if you get caught on camera saying it. That's the thing.
Well,
whatever the case is, I don't know. People are saying it's the blue dress, yellow dress thing.
Right.
Well, I don't know. You take it, and you decide. Also, Trump said to wear masks, which is a change, and he wishes Ghislaine Maxwell well because he's met her a few times. That's what he said in his coronavirus briefing. The first one of dailies to come. So the daily campaign rallies over coronavirus are back. And with all that
must have been a message to her. Because why the fuck would you say that? Why the fuck why in a million years, if you're the leader of the free world, would you give a shout out to a fucking?
They asked him the question.
He should have said something like, "I really hope that justice is served," not "I wish you well, you child molesting madam."
He was saying he's met her a bunch of times and that he doesn't know anything about the case. But
I hope she sleeps tight.
Right. I hope she makes it to trial. That's what he should have said.
Kaylee,
he says, "Oh, you don't need to worry about her."
Yeah, exactly. Back to the Kaylee
says,
thing.
"Oh, my condolences."
That's what a little wink, wink. The Kaylee thing's a real puck you miss. What the other journalist is saying? I said puck you miss. I don't know. I think she said lying bitch. I'm leaning towards lying bitch now.
That's all I heard. But I guess it's. But I've heard. But I feel like when I heard it in the full sentence, I heard more of the engage. But I don't know.
I'm just gonna start telling everyone I said you don't want to engage.
You don't want to engage. I didn't say that.
When they mishear me,
yeah, or just start calling everybody a bitch and then just.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I'm gonna say my normal thing, and then when they call me out, I'm gonna say no. I just said you didn't want to engage.
Nice. Yeah. All right. Well, with all this craziness going on right now in the political world, you got to hightail it over to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20 to get your first $20 matched and start betting on these upcoming elections and other markets. Most notably, one that I brought up last week. It's a red alert buy still. The Republicans in Texas to win the state in the presidential election. It's down to 64 cents. We're getting close to double up territory on a state that has not voted Democrat in a very, very, very long time. So maybe you think it is finally the year that Texas flips blue. I don't think Joe Biden's the candidate to make that happen. So I'm hammering the 64 cents for the R's in Texas. That sounds like a good investment to me. Do you know anywhere else where you could almost double your money in just a couple months?
Not unlike a guarantee.
Besides Davey Day Trader. I mean, obviously what he's doing is incredible, but I mean, with politics, I think this is the best you can do.
Davey Day Traders for people with a huge amount of coin. And this is for a little less coin. You can double up here.
Mm-hmm. Also, betting on politicians instead of companies, maybe more stable commodities, maybe not. Either way, go to predictit.org/promo/hardfactor20 to get your first $20 matched on us. And one last thing about politics, we have a new entry to the bracket. You know the bracket I'm talking about. I'm not going to say its name. We got criticized a little bit for
hot politicians.
The hot politicians?
Yeah. I mean, are we going to try to dance around it, or are we going to?
On this show, we're only going to talk about politicians' looks. We are equal opportunists.
We caught a little heat.
Men and women. Well, we caught a lot of heat from like the head of some organization. Who cares? Look, the bottom line is we're going to talk about looks of men and women politicians until we're literally canceled.
Fair enough. I'll say that I look a lot like Officer Farva, and everybody makes fun of me for it. And go ahead if you want to. I don't have a problem with it. So now that I've said that, I feel I can say Nancy Mace in South Carolina, congressional candidate, is the new entrant into the bracket.
Nancy Mace, you got a nice face.
You might want to Google that. All right, guys, this next
You might want to check that out.
This next one's from Hardo Hive member at version_Reeg. What's the number one thing you guys would miss most in prison, do you think?
What, when we leave prison?
No, if you were in prison, what would you miss from the outside world most?
Oh.
Good food, alcohol, sex.
Freedom.
Yeah,
freedom.
Freedom's kind of obvious. You all, Will,
Yeah.
I think you're right on with sex because we polled 100 inmates, and the number one thing that inmates miss most in prison is the touch of a woman, a.k.a. boning. And unfortunately, guys, the United States Federal Bureau of Prisons does not allow conjugal visits. Boo!
Wait a minute. Like all prisons? You're saying all U.S. prisons that are
Federal.
not private don't?
Saying
all
federal prisons. Some states you can get conjugal.
Oh, okay.
And California
Did they
even
used to?
had the first man-on-man conjugal, which is
Did
different.
they used to, or has federal always been this way?
Federal's been this way since 1974.
What a bunch of killjoys.
Yeah, I know, man. And that sucks. So the closest
Sometimes
inmates...
you got to get the jam out. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean. Sometimes, all the time.
Probably would reduce prison violence too, Get a little.
That's what I'm saying. You got to get
release.
the jam out.
Yeah, but think about the sheet spills. The laundry is going to be real expensive.
Oh,
You
it's a
have to get lot-
tactical nightmare. Moving all
cleaning
these people, and then you
supplies.
got to figure out nobody's bringing anything, nobody's exchanging stuff.
It's going to be 2 or 3 dirty trailers. Like, they're just going to have to clean the trailers over and over. You're not going to, yeah.
I'll just hose them down, get everything in there waterproof. Anyway, guys, the closest most inmates can come to satisfying that deep itch inside their balls is pornography. And being that it's not cool to beat it off in the computer lab, trust me on that one, inmates are reduced to analog nudes a lot of times. The basic model of, like meeting their needs, the Hunter Elantra of masturbation, if you will. And reaching climax is the second hardest thing about JOing in prison. The first is getting the porn inside. No
phone. Oh wow,
No, it's hard.
Or computer. Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah,
I'm gonna stop you, the Beeve. It's Wednesday, and I believe the Beeve has done more porn stories already this week than anyone has done cumulatively.
I think
the Beeve's
the Beeve only has done maybe 1 or 2 non-porn stories.
Yeah,
this is like the Beeve's 5th porn story this week.
I like those numbers. I'm like a hound dog smelling these stories out. What'd you expect from a guy that looks like this? Anyway, guys, inmates rely on a network of, quote, angels or homies that are tasked with getting fresh nude pics inside prison. And guys, the job of an angel is usually unpaid and held in very high regard in the community. Being selected as an angel for someone on the inside is considered an honor and is viewed as, fulfilling your civic duty or a way to give back to the community. The closest analogy to non-prison life would be like the Peace Corps. Right, so these guys get the porn in. Anyway, back on May 28th, 22-year-old John Hughes, an angel from Ogden, Utah, started attracting some suspicion from customers when he was spotted printing copious amounts of fresh pornography at his local Walmart Family Photo Center. Customers complained to Walmart loss prevention officers that some of the images were of, quote, underage women. A charge which Hughes denies, by the way.
Well, I mean, how do they know? How underage?
I guess they got a good look.
Right, they looking pretty hard. You looking over at my paper? Keep your eyes on your own test. But either way, weird move, printing porn. But hey,
why is he printing porn?
Angels work in mysterious ways.
If he was printing porn, why would he print illegal porn? That would be way stupider.
Yeah. You can't. I would assume they're not underage just because he's printing them in a public place.
And he's denied them, guys, but he's an idiot. It took them a couple months to track him down, but because of Hughes', quote, notable tattoos, police were able to find the Good Samaritan and charge him with distribution of pornographic material, a third-degree felony. Police say Hughes admitted to printing off the porno so he could, quote, send it to the homies who were locked up. But based on the charges that Hughes faces and the fact that he's on probation, it seems like he might need an angel of his own very soon. Sad story.
Oh, shit. Well, damn. Well, he's got to find a mentor. He's got to hopefully mentor someone.
I know.
I like this tweet too. Like the story was online, and the first tweet on the bottom of it that had the most likes was like, "This is not a crime," because
it's a Big Brother porn exchange.
Yeah, it really isn't.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I said back to the listener that DM'd that to us. But yeah, that's good to know. This is not a crime.
Great minds. All right. This one comes from Hardo Hive member Matt Bomer. Have you guys ever had disputes with your neighbors, like over property line or anything?
I watch my father have a couple, but I've never personally.
Okay.
I don't, my
Property
credit.
like if somebody's trimming on your side or something.
Yeah, a tree or a fence or a whatever.
Right,
No.
or like the St. Louis couple with the bees. He killed all the bees.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
Will and I had a dispute with one guy on the Enfield house.
Yeah, you're right. Now that's the only
but
one
that
we
wasn't
have.
That wasn't property. That was we went over to say hi when we moved in and knocked on the door, and he threatened to shoot us if we ever stumbled upon his house, because he was like, last tenants that were here were about your age too, and one of their friends got drunk and came over here, and I pointed a rifle at his head, and I'll do it to you too. We're like, all right.
Set it off on the wrong foot, and then we
Just wanted to say hi.
Then we partied extra hard just to make sure that we disrespected his wishes, and he
Ruined his
eventually
life.
screamed at us in the front yard. For being just partying way too much.
Fuel to the party fire.
Almost ended disaster.
I think one of our friends got naked in his backyard on accident, or like was that?
Yeah,
I'd
or
say
was
so.
encouraged to, maybe. Yeah. But anyways, no one got shot, luckily. But look, not like we said, nothing with the property lines. So that's not the case though for Gabriel Braun, who suspected a neighbor's garage was over the line on his property. And then he got a land surveyor to prove it. And once he found out that half of the garage was on his property, he promptly took action, sawing the garage in half with a giant sawzall or a reciprocating machine-powered saw.
Impressive that he could do all that with one sawzall.
He works in a construction company, so conveniently had access to an industrial-sized saw. And he cut the garage in half so cleanly that you could run your fingers across the sides without cutting them.
What an asshole! Is just because he could? This is like the guy.
It's on his property. It's on his property.
I understand. This is like the guy that carries like a fully automatic weapon to like vote. Just because I can, man. I can do it, so I will do it.
That's a solid point, but I got a question for Mark. Mm-hmm. Had he asked this guy to sell that piece?
Interesting. So here's the
I would just
information.
park my car in the half that's mine.
Yeah, he didn't have a fence up, obviously. This is the information I have. Basically, this is a long time coming. Apparently, Gabriel Braun grew up in this house as a child, and then he got married, moved away, and then him and his wife moved back to this house, which was on 2.23 acres of land. And when he moved back, there was this new, smaller house that was kind of in his area, he thought. Turns out it was, with the garage. So someone built this neighbor's house when he was, not living there, came back. And for 4 years, everything was fine. The neighbors they were all friendly. And then the patriarch of the neighbors died and left the house to his wife and sons. And that's when the Brauns didn't get along with the neighbors anymore. They started having issues where I guess maybe they were partying too much. They were leaving,
leadership goes, things go.
Leadership goes.
Things go bad.
Yeah, they were leaving shit on the line, and then they started like putting lines down, and people were crossing the lines with clutter and stuff. And then finally, it came to a head. He got the surveyor out there, and then the surveyor ruled in their favor, and the Ritters, who were the neighbors, packed up and left. And then everything was fine. And then the Ritter,
a rude surveyor, like just one survey and you're out. I don't know. That's
property lines are pretty distinct.
I mean, half their garage was in the other property. They were going to have to get rid of the whole garage. The property value went down when that surveyor fucked the Ritters over, but the Ritters were in the Braun's property. So everything's okay. They packed up and left, and the youngest Ritter son comes back into town and says, "Hey, I just came back to get my father's ashes that you like, the guy you liked, and they're in the garage that happens to be over your property line. You mind if I come in and get them?" And they said, "Of course you can come in and get them." And then that Ritter son ended up destroying the inside of the house, breaking glass everywhere, throwing cabinets over the property line, and just caused a big mess. Out comes the saw. And then we are where we are. So that's what happened, basically. And then Tracy Braun said recently that her husband's actions on the day after Memorial Day, this is when it happened, when he saw the thing in half, marked the latest and hopefully the final step of an often contentious relationship between her family and the neighbors. And I would say, yeah, I hope it's the final step, considering the next logical escalation from sawing an entire garage in half is premeditated murder.
Pretty much. And which they should be on the lookout for, because the other family's probably coming back at some point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's not the final action, the Ritters are going to kill them, because that's the next step. Or burn their house down with him inside it.
They're not going to be happy about getting kicked out of their house and having it sawed in half.
No, and it's just sitting there, like just open-faced, like it just looks so bad. Taking it to the internet, our local correspondent is the chief of police in that area, and he says there's been a property line dispute for a couple of months, and obviously that was the result between Mr. Braun and the owner of the other building, but we think it's resolved now. Yeah, because he sawed the thing off. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, you're never fixing that. That's your trophy, to let people know to not encroach on your property.
You got to see a picture of this.
Or something bad's going to happen to you.
That's amazing.
Can you imagine if you were in the house? It's like your PTSD.
Well, nobody was in the house though, right? I mean, like that. No. He wouldn't be that crazy to saw it. Yeah, that would. Okay,
that would be bad.
That's a wild little neighborhood though, so you watch out if you live in that neighborhood. All right, next up, we're moving it over to what the hell Europe. Normally, we're talking about maybe China, maybe Russia. This one comes from Sam Welch, and it's about the European Union and what's going on there. Some crazy stuff. First up, this slipped through the cracks somehow, but Poland accidentally in air quotes, invaded the Czech Republic in late May. The Czechs said Polish soldiers mistakenly deterred our citizens from entering a church on the Czech territory in close vicinity to the Czech-Polish borders. So blink twice, Czech Republic, if you have a Polish gun to your head when you said that. It sounds like a weird thing.
I don't know. It sounds like those Polish jokes from the 90s.
I'd stay away from those. We got in trouble with the
I'm not going to say one, but I'm
Defamation
just...
League. I just hope they don't have a garage in that area, especially over the border. It sounds very similar to the previous story, Will.
It's very similar, but the thing is here is like that border was pretty clear. I'm sure the Poland-Czech border is pretty clear. The Czech Foreign Ministry spokesperson, Zuzana Stichova, she stepped up to the plate, having some balls, saying, our Polish counterparts unofficially assured us that this incident was merely a misunderstanding caused by the Polish military with no hostile intention. However, we are still expecting a formal statement. And good for Zuzana because the Polish army is either incompetent or bullying the people of the church.
No, they're just like a teenager testing their boundaries. That's all. They're just checking to see what flies. By
going to a church in a different country and telling people they can't go in.
In the house of Czech.
I'm just going to steer clear of this story because I just keep running Polish jokes through my head.
Just keep those to yourself.
You keep saying words like incompetent and like maybe they stumble. I'm just going to steer clear.
Well, it's August. I think they've gotten a little bit more aggressive because it's August, and I have not seen anything about a formal apology. And finally, in more odd European news, the country of Iceland has started the Let It Out tourism campaign where they have installed speakers affixed to places on the Icelandic landscape, like beautiful vistas, live streaming and playing the screams and harrowing despair audio recordings from people all over the globe. You can visit this haunting website at lookslikeyouneediceland.com, and it is the most disturbing thing I think I've ever seen.
See, this is classic. Like, what do we know about Iceland? It originally started with an anti-tourism marketing gimmick with the Iceland-Greenland thing. It's called Iceland. It's not icy. This is the same thing. They just don't want people to come to their little idealistic, perfect, fucking barely European mountain country. I mean, island country, if you ask me.
I know that you can see the Aurora Borealis most parts of the year, which is nice.
Bjork is from there.
Good fishing.
Oh, nice. I'll tell you, I'm never going to Iceland after seeing this website.
Could you imagine just hearing screams?
No, it's terrible. Well, I logged onto it. I don't even want to say what I heard somebody like. There's people just openly contemplating suicide and stuff, like on the recordings, playing to you while you go to the. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
So it's a live stream, but then also if you were to show up in person there, you would hear the screams of despair.
Yeah, because it's playing through a speaker into the live stream back to you in this like remote place in Iceland, and it's recordings of like somebody in the UK screaming out all their emotions because they're upset about the coronavirus. Somebody in some other country talking about how they're contemplating self-harm because of coronavirus. It's not good. It's bad.
It's a scream chamber aimed at wilderness because it's like just nothing out there. So like it's like we're sending FRBs of like distress to
they're saying
space.
That they're like helping alleviate the pressures from the world. Really, it's just the freakiest thing I've ever seen.
How do I contribute to this, Will? Is there like
you can go
on the website?
No, I don't want to go. I want to.
Looks like you need Iceland.com.
I want to get
this
the
is up the Beeves alley.
Screams on there, but I'm not going to scream despair. I'm going to scream about
sexual.
how horny
You
I
could
am.
be sexual too. I think you could be sexual.
Oh, I'm horny.
Yeah, just play sex noises out there in Iceland. Yeah.
Sadly, that's not the most common submission. I think that Beef should mix it up, make it a little bit more lively on this.
It's a hell of a dry spell. Ah.
When the beef gets lucky, he gets
Is that
lucky.
it? Is there more?
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I wish I could laugh more about it. It's just, I had to actually go on that website, and it was just like, I was so fucking, like, I was so depressed for like 30 minutes after I went there. And I wish
who needs, fans of horror and horror movies and books and stuff, just go to this website.
Yeah, this is like very similar to like bottling tears. It's like
it's like ogrish.com.
You did the scream, let it die there. Don't record it and then fucking play it back in an echo
send
chamber.
it to the country
people
of Iceland. So they can play it.
I'm telling you, this is like a FRB of fear going straight to the aliens.
I think that they're maybe somehow powering their country on our despair. I think that's what's going on.
I think Iceland might be run by aliens now.
Did you ever see that movie Little Mermaid? Take her voice.
Confirmed that Iceland was run by aliens?
We don't know that.
I think you cracked that one there.
All right, guys, let's talk about Naked Athena. As we covered earlier in the week, Trump has dispatched agents from Homeland Security to the war zone that is Portland to shut down the uprising of bicycle hippies that threaten to destroy America's liberty as we know it. They're dangerous. They're dangerous people. On Saturday, guys, the government agents took a reprieve from showering groups of liberal arts majors with rubber bullets and tear gas because they were absolutely mesmerized by the actions of one protester who seemed completely unaffected by the exploding less lethal rounds to her left and her right. Now, this protester is now being dubbed Naked Athena, and she stopped traffic and seemingly stopped time when she decided the best way to fight back against these police was with her spread open vagina.
Yeah. Whoa. She did like the stirrups,
it was like a birth pose.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was like, check it out. She sat
on the street
in the middle of a busy Portland street, totally nude, except for a black mask, pointing her most powerful weapon directly at the government agents, and that is her vagina.
Yeah.
Even the word makes some people uncomfortable.
Good for her.
Yes, and what a vagina it must have been, because for 10 minutes the violence stopped. It was like the Christmas truce of World War I. The secret police being the Germans, and this lady's vagina being the British. They were exchanging gifts and singing carols together. It was kind of like the night game in the Sandlot, where they all just stopped and turned to see the fireworks. I don't know if you guys saw, but they just stood there staring at this woman's vagina, and after some very expressive yoga poses from Athena, the police eventually left. It was like they saw God in that vagina.
Turned around and got
That's
out
awesome.
Yeah, they didn't even know what they were fighting for anymore. They just put
it's like Independence Day, though.
They just throw their badges.
This is how it's like when Randy Quaid discovered that this is how you kill the aliens by driving your airplane straight into the firing mechanism. You just get a naked Athena at every single protest, and the federal officers just turn away.
It's fucking impressive.
They're not gonna fuck with the naked Athena or that area surrounding her. That's
Such
hollow
confidence.
ground.
Such confidence. The now viral photo, guys, is from behind Naked Athena, and that's what stirred up most of the controversy on the internet. So let's take it there. My favorite comment: "Splay Queen" instead of "Slay Queen."
Oh yeah,
yeah, because
yeah.
John Hope Bryant says, "Armed with only her humanity, out of Portland tear gas, an apparition emerges, capturing the imaginations of protesters." Yeah, and their balls.
Wow, that guy's a little sappy, huh?
Yeah, the people
sappy.
the people who are like saying that there's no sexual element to this, I don't know about that.
Dude, she's hot. She's so hot.
That's the reason that it.
Well,
that
look,
was
that's
a
why.
showstopper. Yeah,
right, exactly. I mean, if she was, and this is not a knock on women, if it was an ugly man or woman.
Right, you can't have a hard factor host walk out there.
Right.
You just get pelted. We'd be just peppered.
The show
with
goes
non-lethal
on.
rounds.
The show goes on if it's a hard factor host, and maybe more aggressively. Yeah.
No, ultra
imagine
aggressively.
The power that her body wields. Uja Anya said, last month, another woman protested police by lying half naked on the ground with her legs spread against authoritarian forces in a public act of defiance. People called her dirty, ghetto, ratchet whore, not a nude goddess. Can you guess the difference between that woman and this one? A lot of the Black Lives Matter people are mad about Naked Athena.
What half was naked?
Exactly. That's my point. I don't know, and it was probably not a good half. I mean, obviously, whatever. It was like the briefcase in Pulp Fiction when Athena splayed her vagina open. You don't know what's in there, but you know that it's very desirable. Ellie, sex workers' rights are human, says, I didn't think we need to explain why white people praising Naked Athena and pussy power in Portland isn't furthering movements to protect and defend Black life, but here we are.
Oh no! There's it's a rift in whether or not this is okay.
People are getting upset because she's getting so much attention, and they're like, "What does this have to do with the movement?"
It's really more like you're showcasing the weapon. Like I said, it's the Randy Quaid.
Wait a
thing.
minute.
It's like
this is just a moment in time. This isn't the whole movement. We're just talking about this particular moment in time in this particular part of the story, and that's Naked Athena. Are we supposed to say that this is bad? Because I'm not going to do that.
I'm not getting into that. I'm just happy. I'm amazed at the power of the pussy. Yeah, I'm
happy too. Good for her.
And finally, guys, at Gator Chomper 1 says, I know I'm not the only dude waiting for the front shot of this.
Gator.
Yeah, I hear that, bro.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, guys. You want to get into some voicemails and reviews?
Let's do it.
Some voicemails and reviews. All right, hang on.
This is like me earlier with the Macanini.
Hard Factor boys, how we doing? It's your boy Big Smoke and Lil Peep. Got Lil Peep over here. Had a quick question for the boys. We're going to play a quick game, okay? We're going to do 5 subjects. Simple as this. You just got to say overrated or underrated. You guys' personal opinions. Ready? Here we go. Blackjack. Over, under. Overrated, underrated. You got croquet. Play a lot of croquet. Croquet. How you guys feeling about that? Third point, constellations. How you feeling with the stars, boys? Like, personally right now, looking at a lot of them. Fourth point, Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A. What are you guys feeling about Chick-fil-A? Overrated, underrated? I don't know. Last but not least, Cape Cod. Out here repping Truro Cape Cod. Beautiful night, boys. Long-time listeners. Just enjoy the ride. That's all I got to say.
Okay, I don't know what... We're not going to answer all of those.
Well, I got them.
You got all of them? Okay, go for it.
Blackjack, underrated or overrated for me.
Overrated. I agree. If we could count cards, Will, like we talked about that one time, then it would be underrated, but we can't.
It would be underrated.
Underrated. I like blackjack.
Overrated.
Blackjack's overrated. It would be sufficiently rated if we could count cards. I don't think
it takes
you could
my
ever.
money.
Yeah. Croquet, I'm going underrated.
Underrated.
Croquet. I'm a good croquet.
I don't know if it's rated or not, but I would rate it pretty low. So I'm going to say equal.
Great yard game.
Excellent yard game. Pat was a big the Beeve in his younger days. Big croquet.
It's too frustrating.
Mm-hmm.
Constellations, severely underrated. I'm obviously Space Mountain, big stars guy. Underrated on Constellations.
Samesies, get that Constellation app, bro. There's this app that you can get, and then like you it's like AR. You point at the sky, and it'll tell you what planet's supposed to be in front of your phone. It's fucking sick.
Impossible to rate constellations high enough for them to be overrated.
Yeah, exactly. Ever been in a planetarium?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Just enjoy. Just go in there. Wish you had some drugs beforehand. Chick-fil-A, even. I'm going exactly
overrated
rated as it should be.
Overrated.
Over 2. My first job, I've had
overrated
some
by
time
a lot.
and distance from it, and it's overrated.
I think it's really good, but I think everybody thinks it's really good, so I think it's okay. Cape Cod. Sadly, I've never been to Cape Cod. We have any Cape Cod guys on the show?
Never been to Cape Cod.
Shit.
We are middle class. A little bit south.
That makes 2 places that the Hard Factor hosts need to go: Cape Cod and Strong Island.
Constellations in Cape Cod sounds fucking phenomenal. All right, next.
Exactly. We could try to do constellations in both places and see which has. I bet Cape Cod you could probably see it a little bit better.
Dun, 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 dun. What's up, boys? Confused Kyle's back. Just wanted to let you guys know I took a break. But it's the birthday week. Pat, I believe you owe me Venmo. My Venmo is Internet Kyle, because you like, I was thinking about it. You guys essentially elected the ugly kid to prom in my debate, like, as prom king. Because it's like, I smoked this guy. And then you guys have the disservice of having Big Ounce just, like, not have a worthy opponent. Like, he deserves so much better. But anyway, birthday week, what was your guys' favorite birthday individually?
I guess you promised him money on his birthday, Pat?
I don't know about that. I say a lot of things to a lot of people.
So Kyle's still upset about the debate, obviously. He lost to Dr. Lickities, and Kyle prepared for a debate. Dr. Lickities prepared for a verbal assault. And Kyle took a break from the pod because he was upset about Dr. Lickities. It sounds like.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But Dr. Lickities lost. He lost the Big Ounce.
He lost the Big Ounce. Yeah. Dr. Lickities, he couldn't control his own power in the second round. Kyle, unfortunately, ran into a buzzsaw in the first round, so apologize about that. But, you know, I mean, this just is what it is. Nice background music for yourself there. Though.
Oh, yeah, I like that intro. Yeah. Best birthday, we don't have time for it. Any birthday where you get drunk with your buddies or, you know.
I got to go on 30th birthday. My wife organized a surprise party for me. That was very nice.
Samesies on my 30th. But really, the best birthday was when we went to Richmond and got the double T grip, and we went to the Paper Moon and the Braves game at the same time.
That was your birthday that weekend?
Yeah, bro. That was a hell of a time.
That was a birthday weekend. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, double T grip, by the way, something everyone should try. All right, last one. Oh, wait. Before we get to the last one. Here we go. Okay. I want to say Big Ounce left 2 voicemails, of which 100% of the content is he's saying fuck the Chinese government and maybe we should not pay them the $1 trillion debt if they don't shape up. But I'm not going to play any Big Ounce, which is cool. Fuck the Chinese government. We agree with that. But I'm not going to play any Big Ounce voicemails unless he says his name on the voicemail, which he didn't on either of these. He has to say, yo, it's Big Ounce.
Get a little too comfortable.
Yeah, he's not going to get a voicemail played if he doesn't introduce his name. So, sorry, Big Ounce, but you said fuck the Chinese government, noted. Maybe we don't pay him the debt. Last voicemail.
What's up, fat boys? This is Josh from North Carolina. Just some constructive criticism, I guess, of anything. But listening to you guys since the first episode dropped, grinded through the first few and have been hooked ever since. You guys are a morning routine with me and all to death. However, I am curious as to what is your target audience? I loved it at first, the fact that you talk about some gambling aspects, very political. However, I've seen it deviate more towards callers called Big Ounce or Small Minds or Confused Kyle or Bubba Wubba or what the fuck they want to be called, asking goddamn fucking stupid ass questions about shit that no one really cares about. I don't know if this is a political show anymore or if this is a gambling show anymore. So just curious to know what the point or what the end goal is. Who is the end goal target audience?
Okay, I had to cut some of that because it was like a 4-minute voicemail. I'm going to go first because I've already listened to this. Some pretty harsh stuff from Josh there, but he does bring up some interesting things. I would say the target audience is anyone, male or female, that wants to be slightly informed on current events and wants to absorb that information in a humorous way. There's no age range or sex range or ethnicity or race or religious guardrails. We have anyone. Basically, all is the target audience, and we have people that are very young and very old. Now, the points he brings up about the voicemails are very valid. Maybe we could play them less, maybe once a week instead of twice, like we do now. But we do love interacting with the Hardo Hive members, our listeners, and we purposely put this at the end of the show so people like Josh have already gotten their news, and they can go on if they don't want to hear Big Ounce and Confuse Kyle. But
fair point. Maybe we should be a little bit more selective with the voicemails. I think at least once a week we'll check in with the Hive on the voicemails. I mean, that's why we got the voicemail line. But Josh, you bring up solid points. I'd say from the beginning, I'm usually the guy bitching the most about, hey, we need to cover more politics. So Josh, I promise you I will bitch more about that to cover more politics.
We cover politics.
Yeah, and then nicknames, though, I'm going to have to keep those because I like giving out nicknames. I gave the Beeve his nickname, basically. I mean, I gave Big Ounce, I think I gave him his nickname, Bob Apps, Black Widow. I'm not giving up on nicknames.
Okay.
Beeve, you got anything for John?
Yeah, Beeve, you got anything?
Oh, I just want to say and explain. See, when we got this job, it was they were like, "Hey, do the news and the politics." We really like news and politics, but then people were also like, "Hey, who are you guys?" So that's partly why we built the voicemail section in, so we could explain who we are a little bit, because we run a mostly tight show that's kind of straightforward. It's very purposeful. It has a drive to it. So this is kind of like our opportunity to like let loose and say, "Hey, this is us." I agree. Confused Kyle is often confused, and Big Ounce is usually high. And maybe we'll play
End of the show, Josh. Just tune out the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. But
Jesus Christ, Josh.
I like the irony of you playing a voicemail with Josh complaining about voicemails.
Yeah, exactly.
It was the only way he could get his message through.
He said, "Don't play it. It's not the point." He just wanted us to hear it loud and clear.
We showed Josh, didn't
All right,
we?
we'll put a poll. Yeah. All right. Let's move on to
we did
5-star.
play it.
Yeah.
You had
Josh.
to listen to it.
Yeah.
Suck
We're
that.
gonna play it We're going to play that fucking voicemail every fucking show, Josh. All right, on to the 5-star reviews. Sorry, Josh. You might want to tune out here. First up.
No, everybody loves 5-star reviews. I won't take that.
Before we get into the actual 5-star reviews, I got another bone to pick with someone. Zach Graham, you jackass. Zach DM'd Will saying, "Can you call Mark out for being a scumbag over a tweet I made comparing the little militia kid to picking Odd Job and GoldenEye 64. Like we're like, choose your fighter, and there were 4 options.
He
like
means I think he means that you used Odd Job is what he's saying.
That's what he inferred based on my tweet, which said I choose the little guy because it's like it would be like picking Odd Job in Nintendo 64. He immediately just took a jump and said that I must have used Odd Job my whole childhood and have been just the worst friend in the entire like friend group. No, Zach, I didn't choose Odd Job because my friends had an Odd Job ban, like any group of friends should, because you can't use Odd Job. He's cheating. He's like
when he
he's
hit
too
inside
small.
the box.
Oh my god!
you
In the
can't
temple
see him.
level,
You can't shoot
blow
him.
the box
So-
up with the rocket launcher, and then Odd Job gets in there. Oh my god!
Right. So of
And you're like,
course
which
I
box
didn't
is he
fucking
in?
pick Odd Job. All Zach did was confirm my choice as the little militia kid as being the best choice because
Because he could hide.
Yeah, he wouldn't be found. He wouldn't be able to shoot him. So chill out, Zach. Enough of the leap of faith over
We
there.
did address
All right.
it though. So
Yeah.
Odd
There you
Job
go,
has been
bud.
addressed.
5-star
Does choose
reviews.
Italy in FIFA though. Old Italy. Okay, I'm sorry. Continue.
Well, that's because
Brazil-
Mark
I
has a
chose
lot
it-
of Italian pride, though.
I'm 50% Italian.
Great
my last
team,
name's
though.
Italian, and Brazil was better than those Italian teams.
Okay.
Next
true.
up, 5-star review from Duke Lukem. I like that, like Duke Nukem. 696969. Great name. It says, good call on the Breckenridge warning. Good call warning the listeners to not buy drugs off the locals in Breck. I used to live out there, and there was a pretty strong rumor that the DEA had a house up the mountain where they ran drug bust operations all over Summit County. That theory was reinforced with the number of awkward interactions I had with middle-aged white dudes asking, "Where's the party at tonight?"
Well,
After he would leave the bathroom.
lucky for me, I passed the test. When we were
Yeah,
in
that was the hardest. That was like I've never felt lower in my life than going out to try to buy drugs for our bachelor party and then failing miserably.
Can
and
you
essentially
believe-
being ostracized by locals?
Yeah, but can you believe this guy, the guy who looks like Farva, is the guy who gets in?
I know.
Well, there was one group, but there was a couple attempts. There was one group where they approached us at like a beer festival in the afternoon, and they're like, "Hey," it was like a group of 3 older white guys. And they're like, "Do you want to buy cocaine?" And those were probably the DEA agents.
Agreed.
We were like, "Yeah," sure. And then they're like, "All right, we'll stay here. We'll go get it." And then we're like drunk. We're like, "This doesn't feel right."
Yeah. You can tell
Yeah,
the
those
stuff
were
we
the-
bought was good because
yeah.
we all threw up after.
You have to go get it. Yes. Anyways. Next one's from Vinny Lucas. I think it's the little longer name, our longtime follower here. It says, listener every day since March 2019. Nice, Vinny. Can we get Hims back as a sponsor and have Wes do the reading for it? Been listening to the episodes I didn't listen to, everything pre-March 2019. So he's going back and listening to the old ones, and he likes the old
Wes
Hims
is a
reviews.
voice. Sorry, not a voicemail, but a ad read master. Yeah, he's definitely. When he was doing, I think he's talking about the ones in character when he was doing them.
The shave my balls. Like
Yeah, that guy. Yeah. We used to do.
Yeah.
We didn't do our ad reads live when we first started. We did them pre-recorded, so they were a little bit crazier, actually, in the beginning.
Some of them are a little bit dicey.
A little dicey, but it's funny. Like, people say they prefer the organic ad reads, so now we do them in the show. But yeah, if we brought back the pre-recordeds, they might get a little crazier again.
We lose less sponsors this way.
All right, here's one. A review from Mummerford Cornelius. He's back. Mummerford, we're reading all the 5-star reviews that are new. I'm going to give you this one because you're addressing me. But the whole point of us reading the 5-star reviews is we need the numbers, so we're trying to get new 5-star. But I'll give you this one. 5-star review from Mummerford Cornelius. It says, "Hey, hats soft factor Mark. My mom said you're a simp." And then he says, "What's the difference between 3-ply toilet paper and Mark?" One gently takes care of a grown man's buttholes. The other is 3-ply toilet paper. Hey, you know what though? He's not wrong in the simp part. A lot of guys simp for Mrs. Cornelius. We call her the thigh in the sky on account of she's only got the one leg. But in spite of that, or maybe because of the extra hip space, she can get all over the place in a hurry.
So you've been hitting her up.
She's like a horny flamingo. You know that one-legged thing? All right, fuck you, Mummerford. You're done.
You forgot to read hashtag damn clean pools. I like that.
Oh, hashtag damn clean pools.
Damn. Yeah, that's Beeve plus Pool Boy Pat. Wow.
A lot of the people that are pro Pool Boy Pat are coming at me. All right, next
also,
up.
Pool Boy Pat, there was a request for a I forget who sent it in, James or somebody. The request for a Pool Boy Pat commercial featuring the Beeve.
I'm working on it. I saw that.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Okay, just making sure you saw.
All right, last one here. This is from 5456667865433 HJN. News, laughs, and beeves. A friend suggested this pod to me when quarantine started, and I was burning through PMT too quickly. He told me I would be sold 30 seconds into my first episode, and he was exactly right. Electric opening, great information, and hilarious guys. Best way to start the day. Also, Pat, a.k.a. the Beeve. My wife went to Oregon State University, whose mascot is a beaver. Every time she hears you speak, she goes, "Go Beeves!" Pretty sure you'd be a local hero if you were ever in the PNW. So we got to get the Beeve up to the Pacific Northwest, his natural habitat.
Oh, yeah.
He could really do some damage up there.
The Beeve in rural Oregon would be a sight to behold.
I like them hippie chicks.
All right. Our list of places we got to go is growing. We got to go to Nashville with Connor, Cape Cod, Strong Island. Now the Beeves got to go to
Florida.
Corvallis, Oregon.
We have a big following in Tampa, St. Pete area, Florida. Need to go there. All right. Well, we got to go a lot of places. Let's get this quarantine over with. And that's going to do it for Hard Factor. Thank you all so much for your support. For any of the new listeners out there, if you like the show, however you heard about the show, do that to other people. Like however you heard about it, do that. Pass that along so we can keep this thing growing. The Beeve has expensive taste, and he's going to be up Schitt's Creek with the rest of us come the very beginning of 2021 if we don't keep this momentum going. So keep your foot on the gas, Hardo Hive, and we will keep trying to bring you the best show we can 9 times a week with the podcasts and a Monday through Thursday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Sirius XM radio show on Power 85. We love you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and most importantly, have a great fucking day.